Welcome back to another episode of the GODSU Tuesday Talk. This is the Tuesday Talk Woman of Power. Woo, there it is. I personally celebrate strong female leaders, so it brings me great pleasure to bring to the mic Her Excellency Cairo, who will be interviewing GODSU Assistant Dean Dr. Cecilia Wilson-Smith and December 2019 graduate Reverend Dr. Sloan Smallings Chaplain. This is your truly co-MC and engineer, His Excellency Dakar, Dean of GODSU Chaplaincy Program and CEO of Dakar Marketing Tools, an international graphic and printing company providing you with all your marketing needs to help you and your company grow. Our popular products are GODSU African American Bible, magazine, banners, flyers, branded golf shirt, and jackets. Without any further ado, Her Excellency Cairo, please take us away.
Thank you so much for that introduction. Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to feature our two women of power. As Dakar so eloquently said, these women of power, there it is. And so when we bring out that energy, when we bring out that enthusiasm, we know who we're talking about tonight. We're talking about power women. So before we begin with the interviews, I'd like to start with a word of prayer. Dear God, thank you for this day. Thank you for waking us up this morning. Please allow these women to share their knowledge, their strength, their resilience, so that those on the line may be able to take those nuggets of knowledge and incorporate it into their daily lives. In your name we pray, God. Amen. Well, I would love to start with our Assistant Dean, Dr. Cecilia Wilson-Smith. She is not only a powerful woman in her biography and in her background, but she's also been leading the GODSU Success Prayer Call this week, and she's been talking to us about seasons. So in order to really be able to capture everything that she's been saying and really have a grasp or understanding of who she is, let me just introduce her to you all. In 1994, Cecilia Smith founded the Strong Sisters of Strength SOS Ministry, Inc. For over 25 years, she has enjoyed meeting the needs of hurting women. The SOS Ministry is a place where women strengthen women through fellowship, prayer, worship, and outreach. The mission of SOS is to glorify and honor God through ministering to the emotional, spiritual, and physical well-being of women of all denominations in different phases of their spiritual journey. SOS is a safe place to come, sit at the Savior's feet, be washed in the Word, and be encouraged to apply and walk in the fullness of God. The Lord has truly taken one's misery and turned it into ministry. Let me say that one more time. The Lord has truly taken one's misery and turned it into a ministry. Amazing. Since the ministry has begun, thousands of women have attended quarterly Bible study discussions as well as annual women conferences. The discussions have included such themes as women with purpose and women God can use. For 34 years, Dr. Cecilia remained a very active member of the Mount Olive Baptist, where she served as a teacher, women's conference coordinator, media sales director, and evangelist outreach coordinator. For 33 years, Dr. Cecilia Wilson-Smith has worked in various management positions for the Department of Treasury. Cecilia continues to mentor women and young girls of all ages in ministry and in the marketplace. Assistant Dean Dr. Cecilia Wilson-Smith, do I have you on the line? Yes, you do. Oh my goodness, it is an honor and privilege. How are you doing, Smith?
I'm doing well. Thank you for the introduction. I appreciate that.
Well, you know what? When it comes to powerful women, you got to come straight to the mic, right?
You're right.
You know what? I just want to hop right into it. I realized that when we talk about powerful women, you created this organization for women to really become strengthened, not only spiritually, but also emotionally and mentally. What made you decide to found the Strong Sisters of Strength Ministries in 1994? And I want to know, where were you in your life as a woman of strength at this time?
Actually, in 1994, I was 28 years old. At that time, I collaborated with 2 other women of God to start what we called at that time a quarterly Bible study / roundtable discussion for women. We were very dear sister friends, just literally doing life together. We were struggling with so many of life's circumstances. However, we were struggling together, and that mattered to us. But initially, we called this organization Sisters of the Struggle. Our bond was unbreakable. We loved being sister friends, and we were intent on empowering other women to become exactly who God meant them to be. We never accepted that cliche that women don't get along with each other. We were convinced that we could do all things through Christ who strengthened us. So by year 2000, we changed our name to what we know today, Sisters of Strength. The Lord literally turned our misery and our message into ministry.
And you know, what I like is that you're bonding over the strength and over the resilience that you have within the group. Yes, there are struggles and there are challenges, but it's like you change the perspective from focusing on the misery, but instead focusing on the ministry. I think that's powerful.
Yes, ma'am. That's just what God can do with a message. So we realized that though we were struggling, and we realized we didn't have to stay there.
Yes, absolutely. And what I want to know is what makes Strong Sisters of Strength distinctive or different, unique from other Christian female empowerment organizations?
Well, you know, as you mentioned in my bio, SOS is a place where first and foremost women strengthen and support each other. And we do that through fellowship, we do it through prayer, we do it through worship, and we do it through outreach. Strengthen and support to me means we connect with each other in a very different way. You don't have to look a certain way to be a part of SOS. You don't have to dress a certain way or behave a certain way. We meet you right where you are in life. We accept and love you because you were created by God. Our theme scripture is Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. And as you know, that says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he'll direct your path. And I have to truly say that he has truly directed me to who is to be a part of this sisterhood, because obviously it cannot be for everybody, but it is for some women who want to be connected to other strong women.
And you know, oftentimes there are women who feel intimidated by other women who have overcome a lot and are able to show that stronger side, show the healed side, the accomplished side of themselves. So to have that peer group mentality and allowing women of different backgrounds to just come together and share is incredible. And so I like what you said when you said that, you know, the women are able to come as they are. So starting from today, how can a woman or Christian woman become stronger spiritually and mentally? What are some strategies that you suggest for building internal strength?
What I do is I encourage my SOS sisters on their journey to greatness in 2 ways. And I did say journey to greatness because we're all on our way somewhere. First thing is honest self-talk. And second thing is an intense study of God's basic instruction to his people before leaving earth. And as you know, that's the Bible. Honest self-talk will help you define who you are and where you are. Once you identify who and whose you are, you will no longer allow anyone to define how much you're worth. Once you know who you are mentally, you will be absolutely unstoppable.
Yes, and I like what you said just now about the honest self-talk, because you know what, I'm sure you know of this, Dr. Cecilia, but there's so many times when we talk ourselves out of a blessing or out of an opportunity.
Yes.
And so that's honest self-talk, right? We're talking about honest self-talk. So what do you do day to day in order to have that honest self-talk with yourself, to keep yourself going?
What I do every single day is I start my day in devotion. I start my day speaking to my Father. That's how I stay focused and centered, because if I don't start with devotion, if I don't start talking to Him, if I don't start, get on God's success, keep praying, get my mind right, I will not be able to focus. So I think it's important that if you know who you are and you belong to Him, then you start your day in complete devotion with Him.
Completely agreed. I mean, I want to now transition over to the annual women's conferences that I was able to allude to earlier, and how you've been able to change thousands of women's lives spiritually and mentally through these conferences. Can you share a testimony or two of women who have attended these annual women's conferences and have spoken to you about the miracles that they have observed as a result of attending?
Yes, I actually heard from a young lady this week, and she actually sent me this following text I'd like to share with you. She said the conference definitely has had a consistent impact on me. I know I say it every year, but the takeaways and the experiences get me through the year more than you will ever know or imagine. One of my goals as being a leader of a women's organization is to impact lives. I never wanted it to be just another conference. I wanted it to change. I wanted it to change women. I want them to be different because they took time out of their lives to join us. So when I hear testimonies that says there were true takeaways that they can experience, that literally just speaks volumes to me. One of my church members shared with me that she is notorious for inviting her daughter to church, to conferences, to different Christian activities. And she said normally her daughter just kind of looks at her and just follows along. She invited her to SOS this year. And she said when they left, unto her daughter cannot stop talking about the SOS conference. She said it was so different and it spoke so personally to her. And again, that's exactly what I want. I've been inviting my bonus daughter for years with an S. She finally came 2 years ago. When she came in January, she told me, she said, I cannot put into words how this conference has changed my life. She said, I am bringing my sorority sisters with me in 2020. She is already confirmed and paid. She's bringing with her 12 of her sorority sisters because she told me, I cannot explain it. They just have to come.
Well, you already know what my next question is. When is this conference going to be happening, and where can we register or get the information to register?
The next annual gathering will be January 24th through January 25th, 2020. It's going to take place at the Hilton Garden Inn in Arlington, Texas. That Friday night will feature our annual Sister Circle panel. And then Saturday will include lunch and various other conference speakers. They can register if they're interested at 2020 sos.eventbrite.com. So that's 2020 sos.eventbrite.com, correct? That's it. Well, Dr. Cecilia Smith, if there are individuals who are interested in getting connected with you, what information can you provide to them, including social media or your email address, so that they can get connected with you? They can find me at thisisthestrength.us. That's my website. I'm on Facebook, C for Cecilia Wilson Smith. My Twitter account is at @CWilson_Smith. My Instagram account is at Smith_CCE on Instagram. And I know that His Excellency Dakar has so wonderfully already added your information to all of the Facebook so that everyone can get connected with this woman. And guess what? This is not the last time you'll get to hear from her. In fact, tomorrow morning, bright and early at 7:40 a.m., she'll be sharing more about seasons and the spiritual seasons, not just the physical seasons, but the season for us to be able to grow in our faith as well as grow as individuals. And that will be on the GODSU Success Teach and Pray Call, which happens Monday through Friday, 7:40 a.m. now to 8:05 a.m. with the intention of educating, informing, and inspiring. Thank you so much, Assistant Dean Dr. Cecilia Smith, for sharing what it is that you do with Strong Sisters, SOS, Strong Sisters of Strength. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Next, we will have our Reverend Dr. Salome Smalling. Are you on the line?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. How are you doing?
I am well, thank you. How are you?
I am fantastic. I'm so excited to have you on the line. I just want to share a little bit about this phenomenal chaplain and woman of God. Reverend Dr. Salome Smalling has demonstrated servant leadership through her roles as a licensed pastor and board-certified chaplain. She obtained a graduate degree in education and curriculum development from the National Louis University and a master's degree in religious education from Washington Adventist University. She currently resides as the pastor of Clearview Wesleyan Church in Martinsville, Virginia. As a full-time spiritual leader, her faith vision is spreading the word of God one family at a time. She has used her background as a chaplain to create the youth program Rise at Clearview to help the youth not only rise above, but to rise for God. Rise allows youth to lead the conversation and to have an outlet to discuss topics such as peer pressure and academic challenges. As women's group director in churches located in both the United States and Germany, she's witnessed the lives of these women transformed through spiritual empowerment with an increase in leadership participation from all attendees. She experienced her own transformation after grieving the death of her husband, Pastor Marvin Smalling, in 2012. After being married for 3 decades, she had to rediscover herself. She began to journal to capture her thoughts and reflections during this difficult period. And through journaling, God further validated that her calling was to serve others through spreading the word and the power of self-discovery through journaling. Reverend Dr. Smalling has created a journal to hope for people of courage, to share the miracle that journaling has created in her life, to remind others of their purpose, and to challenge themselves to triumph throughout any challenges they may experience. This journal is set to be published in 2020. Wow. The first question I have for you, Reverend Dr. Smalling, is why does society need chaplains?
Wow, thank you, first of all, for that wonderful introduction. Society needs chaplains because they need folks with compassion, folks that can listen with compassion. Listen with your heart and listen with care. And sometimes as a chaplain, I remember just sitting there and holding space with the person, holding their hand and letting them know that
I'm here for them. I'm here to help them. And being able to meet their individual and spiritual need.
And I remember talking to you about that, and oftentimes that's some of the most important traits that a chaplain can have is just being empathetic and being caring. So what we want to know, as many of you know, our earned chaplaincy programs are extremely not only popular but powerful in that it trains people on how to become licensed chaplains. So I want to know from your experience of being a chaplain for well over a decade, what are methods that we can use to become more effective chaplains every day?
To be a more effective chaplain, one needs to have some type of formal training, because the key to being a good chaplain is listening and communicating. And you have to be able to listen to your patients or listen to individual and communicate care sometimes without even saying anything. And another thing, you have to be trustworthy, and you have to be able to maintain that individual confidentiality, and also be able to feel the emotion of the person that is talking to you.
Absolutely. And one thing I will say, though, is that with many of the rewards that come with being a chaplain, such as being able to serve others in this way, sometimes it can be a little draining, to have to bring that energy to lift someone up, especially if they're in hospice, right? And so I want to know, how do you conserve your strength or stay emotionally and spiritually strong as a chaplain?
One of the things that I did was I learned not to take the circumstance personal, and to practice self-care, take time off for myself. And also to attend workshops and different empowerment seminars to help sharpen my skills further. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I will say that that's something that I thought about most recently. I actually experienced something where I was working with someone who experienced something extremely traumatic, and I had to remind myself that in order for me to be able to give to that person the way that they needed me to, I had to be able to step away and be objective so I could provide the best care. Because if you get so wrapped up and everything that they're dealing with, you can't be able to counsel them or be present with them the way that they need you to be.
Exactly.
So I know that for you, a lot of your transformation came from being able to journal. And you've used journaling to be able to discover yourself as well as discover the strengths that God has called you to deliver to others. So my question to you is, what is the significance of journaling on a daily basis? Not just on, every now and then, but on a day-to-day basis, on a frequent basis.
Journaling was a healing for me after the death of my husband. For me, it helped me to get in touch with my inner personal self. And it helped me to draw out the feelings that, I was having. And it also helped me to write down things that were unsettling to me. And the most important thing that I learned from this is to identify the feeling that I was having and being able to talk about that feeling in journaling. And as a result, I was able to draw strength and emotional well-being from that.
You know what I would say is that I completely agree. Journaling has definitely transformed my life. And I'm so happy to hear that this is a way in which you've been able to use to find your inner strength. We oftentimes don't listen to ourselves or have the quiet space that we need to really sit down and think and be introspective and find out and learn about ourselves. So I want to know, is there a process in which you journal, or do you have a certain strategy or a routine that you use every time that you journal?
The first thing I always try to capture is the date and the time. When I go back and I'm reflecting, I know at the date and the time what was going through my mind. And what I like about the journal is that I can write down my anxiety, my fear, write down and see what caused it. Because sometimes it's like we have triggers, and triggers tend to cause us to react differently. So in my journaling, I could go back and I could see where the triggers occur and what caused it and how to deal with it by writing about it. And then another step I did was I sometimes step back to see, what's going on with me? Who am I? What am I doing? And as a result of journaling, I'm able to identify exactly something even before it happened, because I've gone through that already, because I was able to capture it in my writing. And that has healed me tremendously.
Absolutely. So you were able to identify those patterns that you had.
Yeah.
And if you needed to change something, let's say you wanted to modify a pattern or a habit, you were able to do so because you were able to see that within your journaling.
Yes.
That makes complete sense. And so can you tell us when we can be able to expect the journal to hope for people of courage? I love that title. I love it. What inspired you to actually name that journal the way that you did?
It was as a result of losing my husband, and I captured the feelings that I was having, and the feeling I thought journal courage, because at one point it felt like I didn't have courage, but as I continued to journal, I discovered that I did have courage, I did have strength. So as this journal was being written, I said, why not publish it so it can help other women, other folks that are possibly going through the same thing, so that if they have a little bit of courage, that they can get through whatever they're going through. And I'm hoping by March, my birthday, to have this journal published.
Oh, when's your birthday?
March 1st.
March 1st. Did you know that our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Moore-Eubanks, is born on March 1st as well?
No way. I've not met anyone born on March 1st. Really? Wow, that's nice.
Oh my goodness. Well, let me tell you, you are absolutely in good company. Now I know that people born on March 1st are great people, loving people,
yes,
passionate people.
Yes. Extremely, yes.
I'm so happy to hear that. Well, we look forward to being able to hear more about your journal, especially closer to your birthday. How wonderful would it be to be able to share that gift with the world, having this journal that people can be able to use. And if people are interested in connecting with you, Reverend Dr. Salome Smalley, what is your contact information so that they may be able to do so?
Sure. I'm on Facebook. You could just plug in Salome Smalling, SALOME SMALLING. And I'm on Facebook. And for email, it's salome.smalling@yahoo.com.
Salome, SALOME period dot Smalling,
SMALLING.
Yes, at yahoo.com. All right, and I know that Mr. Dakar has also put that up on the Facebook for everyone for their convenience. So with that being said, I want to just let everyone know that it's a pleasure, as always, being your MC for this event. I like to think of it as an event. It's not just a call, but instead it's something momentous that happens every week where I get to speak to amazing individuals like yourself and Assistant Dean Dr. Cecilia Wilson-Smith. I apologize that I'm not in front of the camera. I'm actually recovering from getting sick in New York, unfortunately. But you know what? I was representing our NGO at the UN, and I learned the invaluable lesson of not trying to dress cute your last day just because you know you're coming back to Florida. Don't do it. Don't do it. You will regret it. So with that being said, I'm going to transition over to our Chancellor, Dr. Diane Moore-Eubanks, who will be sharing all of the information pertinent for our graduates as we get ready for our graduation happening next week. Woo! So exciting. So we have some exciting news to share with you, including, so let me go ahead and just start out with the good news. We have a private tour that we're doing at the UN on Monday, December 9th, which is very exciting. We're going to have our meeting from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the UN, where we'll be honoring our Queen Mother, Dr. Dolores Blakely, who is the founder of our NGO, New Future Foundation. She's been a Goodwill Ambassador at the United Nations for 50 years, and she's celebrating her 50th anniversary this year. So we want to celebrate her, recognize her for all of her achievements, as well as confirm the agenda for 2020 through 2021 for our Jamaican chapter, because we have so many exciting activities and initiatives that we have ongoing or that we will be starting. And we want to make sure that everyone is right and on board. From 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., we'll be having that meeting. Then we'll be having lunch at the UN. And then we'll be doing a tour, a private tour, starting at 1:45 p.m. sharp. So that does not mean we're starting at 2 or 2:05 or 1:51. No, we're starting at 1:45 p.m. sharp. So we want to make sure that that day at the UN is filled with exciting activities. I know that for many of the people on the line, this will be your first time going to the UN, and let me tell you, it is a wonderful experience. It never gets old. I go there every month, and it still feels brand new every time I go. So with that being said, I'm going to transition over now to our Chancellor, Dr. Diane Moore-Eubanks, who will be sharing more insight about what to expect next week. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, such a warrior, such a general. Even in illness, Executive Cairo is on point, and Executive Car is so reliable. Just always being there and always moving in. Excellent. So I want to welcome to the call Reverend Dr. Bruce. As a board, I want to welcome to the call Dr. Sharon Wood. I just want to welcome to the call